Are you having a hard time discussing things that are uncomfortable in your marriage? For instance, sex. Are you telling your husband what your needs are when it comes to sex? Are you talking about finances? And are you on the same page with finances? A lot of couples are not. Are you spending those conversations letting your husband know what it is that is your love language? And now mine is gifts and positive affirmation or words of praise. That is my favorite love language. But I need to remind my husband all the time what it is, what my needs are. And that's okay. You have to remind them. As women and being in a marriage, it's very common to have these conversations and feel awkward about it. It's sometimes awkward to tell our partner what it is exactly what we want in the bedroom. It's sometimes hard to tell him exactly that we want about finances when he's maybe been the main one doing the finances in the past, and you feel like you don't have a voice. Well, you do have a voice. The other thing that is really important is to speak up for yourself and speak your truth. What is your truth? Are you a woman who has needs and who has had them suppressed and doesn't want to say anything? Because if you say anything, then you might be rejected. If you say anything, your husband might laugh. If you say anything, again, he will know about it and then he doesn't do anything about it. And that can be really hurtful. And then we feel rejected inside. And then it can affect other things in our lives. But guess what? Again, we need to still have those conversations. We need to show up, do our best, and don't be married to the outcome. It's okay to speak our truth. It's okay to demand respect. If those of you who are in a marriage who feels that you are not being respected by your spouse, you should be able to have that respect regardless and demand that at all costs, no matter what. But again, sometimes you have to remind them. You also, in place of that, is rewarding your husband and loving him the way he wants to be loved. It's a two-way street. So when we do our couple time, and I've mentioned it in another video, our couple planning time, where we talk about finances, we talk about our sexual needs, we talk about our personal needs, we talk about things that need to happen during the week, and we want the other person to know. So what's so great about that is that it starts the conversation, and it starts not after a while, it doesn't seem so awkward to have those conversations. If we don't have those conversations, they'll never be addressed. A lot of women feel like, my husband should read my mind, and if he doesn't understand and he doesn't read my mind, then it doesn't matter. And I don't like him for that, because he doesn't see that whatever it is that you want, he can't read your mind, and vice versa. So speak, talk. You have nothing to lose. If you feel rejected, if you feel like he's not understanding, if you feel like he's laughing at you, all of that, then I'm going to tell you something that it might sting a little bit. That's not his problem. Does that make any sense? So you are responsible for how you feel. You are also responsible to speak up regardless of who listens. It means you just keep needing to speak up. And there is a communication barrier there. There's also a confidence barrier there as well. If your partner isn't listening to you, if you are speaking your truth and you say it in confidence, and sometimes you have to write it down and say it over and over and over and over again in the mirror, so you are confident with what your needs are so you can express that. Sometimes you have to write it down, or you'll, in practice, say it in front of a mirror, but know that you have the right tone of voice. Instead of saying, you hurt my feelings and you're such a jerk, he's not going to really take that too lightly. But if you say, hun, that really kind of bothered me when you said X, Y, and Z, and I know you didn't mean to hurt me, but I just wanted you to know that I would appreciate it if, and then you give him what you want. You tell him what you want. You're speaking your truth. And that is going to go a long ways with you telling your spouse what it is you want, speaking your truth, living your truth, and being who you are, which is a woman with divine worth who deserves anything she asks for. And as long as it's respectful and it is a choice to get the things that you want and encourage yourself to speak up, that is a choice. And you have a choice to make a new one today. Write down some things that you would like to discuss with your husband and start your couple planning meeting on a day that's going to be good for the both of you. Timing is another really crucial factor, and do it at the right time. When he comes home from work and he's exhausted, it's not the right time. Right before you fall asleep, it's not the right time. He's too tired. As he's rushing off to work, it's not the right time. So either you have a time in your week that you're going to schedule this so it all can come out on one day. So it's not every day getting on them and harping on them. So I know this is going to work. It actually has worked in my marriage and it's done wonders. And I know it will in yours. Learn to speak your truth.